Because we can put everybody together, Ravichandran. There is no problem.
Yeah, sure, sir. Now we are in live, sir. You go ahead, sir.
All right. So, guys, let me know if you have any questions. Can you guys hear me? Can you confirm? Ravichandran, it seems like either these people are not here or they cannot hear. Oh, I can see somebody mentioning here. Oh, you are unable to unmute yourself. Ravichandran, can we unmute them? Please, can you give them access to unmute themselves? Swati, to understand the role of psycholinguistics in our life, we need to understand what is psycholinguistics. It's a branch of linguistics that deals with psychological aspects of language. And in the sense that it also deals with different kinds of psychological disorders that are rooted in language. So if we understand the intersection of linguistics and psychology both, and the role of psychology in the study of language or role of language study in the psychology, then we understand certain specific types of disorders rooted in language in a particular way, in a better way. And then we also understand whether or not those are disorders or something else. So in short, this is the role of psycholinguistics in our life. It's to, on the other side, psycholinguistics is not psychiatry. That will be a footnote added for me. Anybody else? No. Psycholinguistics and neurolinguistics are not the same. Neurolinguistics is about its connection with our nervous system and language, in the sense that neurolinguistics is primarily, there are different understandings of neurolinguistics, but the neurolinguistics that I am talking about is the understanding of how neurons work, and it helps us understand whether language is also coded in neurons or not. That's the main function of neurolinguistics and our understanding of neurolinguistics. They are definitely not the same thing. There are overlaps, but they are definitely not the same thing. Anybody else? I see there are several people here. Ravichandran, can you hear me? Okay, guys, go ahead. We are live. So we need to let me know your questions. We need to go to other sessions as well. So is the study of linguistics, can this help in language teaching? Yes, it helps in language teaching a great deal, in the sense that you understand. See, look at this. If we have to teach language, linguistics helps us understand what we want to teach. Linguistics helps us understand language inside out. So I can give you more details of this, but in short, yes, it definitely helps us understand, helps us teach language. For example, look at it. How do we learn language? The very basic understanding about it is going to help you perform in the sense that how others understand language. That's how linguistics helps teach language. Any language, linguistics helps us understand the structure of language, the relationship between a structure and language, applications, its connection with society, psychology, and so on. So all these aspects put together helps us teach language, a particular language, in a better way. Forensic linguistics. I don't understand forensics well, but I can tell you a little bit about it. There is a branch called forensic linguistics. I don't know much about what people do, but see, there is an understanding that all of us have different voice samples, like we differ from one another with respect to our DNA. No two individuals on the earth has got same DNA. So no two individual has got the same voice sample. I'm just trying to draw a parallel in forensic linguistics. Why? So if you can understand our voice sample, if you can understand how we make sounds, then it will help you understand forensic linguistics. What are the details of what are the details of forensic linguistics, detailed aspects of it? Largely, it deals with it. You see, it helps us find out unique similarities that we display as speakers of language, and through which it helps forensic science. And a cross-section of that is called forensic linguistics. That's all I can say about it. Signs, signifiers, signified, according to Saussure. Catherine, please read that. That is a chapter on Ferdinand de Saussure. But to understand it briefly, any symbol in language is sign. And the relationship between sounds and the object, that is, let's say we have a word and we have an object. We have a word like, let's say, phone, and there is a real object, phone. So the connection between the two is signified. Signified is the object, and signifier are symbols. So this is the connection between sign, signified, and signifier. It's an older version of understanding sounds and its arbitrary connection with objects. That is what Ferdinand de Saussure has discussed quite a while ago. So Hini Das Gupta is asking about, there are some sounds which are particular for any regional community, but usually we can't utter that. Yeah, different languages have different sounds. Our vocal tract gets matured based on the sound system of the language that we speak, that we grow up with. So the why part of your question is, we cannot speak sounds of another language exactly the way it is spoken by native speakers, because our vocal tract is matured in a particular way, and the system of the sound in a different language is different language differs from our sounds. Therefore, we have difficulty speaking sounds of other regional communities. In neuro-linguistic program, I have heard about this. I know it is something magical, but I have no idea about what neuro-linguistic programming is. It can, I have heard it. It figures out how people think, what they are going to do, and so on. It's related to linguistics in the sense that anything that has to deal with language is definitely linguistics, but it is not directly linguistics as far as I understand. Anybody else, guys? Computational linguistics is a great impact. You see, we can speak to a machine, and machine's ability to transform our verbal symbols into electrical signals and then go to another machine, send that signal to another machine and bring some information which answers your question. It's possible because of advances in computational linguistics. So computational linguistics is combination of computer science and our understanding of language, that is linguistics. This is how we can briefly understand the impact of computational linguistics in our daily life. I'm sure you understand. We can speak to a phone. Sometimes it asks us, either you have to press the key or it tells you speak. And whether when you speak, the machines can convert your speech into electrical signals, or when we press, it still translates that into electrical signal, and vice versa. That happens because of multiple overlaps such as computer science, electrical engineering, electrical signals, and study of language. This is one of the impacts of computational linguistics in our life. Definitely, it helps AI-related bots. So, see, the fundamental basis in AI is still the same. The larger goal of intelligent machine design is where AI begins. So, in AI, the artificial part is the codes for machine language. So yes, definitely it is related to AI bots. Now we have bots that, based on their programming, they can speak. We have this is nothing new. We have announcement systems at railway stations and airports where you just feed in. You feed in information and then it gives you, it speaks. This is the primitive version of bots. Now AI bots can really do miracles. It is difficult for adults to learn a new language because this we understand when we understand language acquisition properly. I'm sure you have gone through those videos. So language acquisition happens through our inbuilt capacity, and that has been given a name. It's called universal grammar. So for adults, the access to universal grammar gets reduced, and that is what makes learning difficult at a later stage. Nothing else. I see only one or two people talking about many things. So Niranjan Dev, Shubham, Gopika, you guys don't have any questions? I have no idea, Sohini, about Japanese, these Indianized and Japanese differences. See, I can say about it is in the Indianized version, what you mean by Indianized is particularly the way they speak. That has been converted according to the underlying system of Indian languages. Other than that, I don't know much about cartoons. What we speak is natural language, and the language that machines require to communicate with another machine is artificial language. It's called artificial because it is man-made. It can be created through specific codes. Natural languages are not man-made. It's human capacity. That's the difference between artificial language and natural language. Hope you understand this distinction. NLP is natural language processing by machine. How humans speak and can it be processed by machine? That domain is called NLP. So can machine understand natural language? This is the domain that we call NLP. Can we make machine understand natural language? A lot of research has happened, like I mentioned before, in the field of electrical engineering, computer science, and so on. So all these things put together work for the processing of natural language, and that is what that domain called. NLP is the term that is also used for, there was a question before, neuro-linguistic programming, but that is different from natural language programming. Like I said, artificial language is used by machine, and normal language, there is nothing called normal language, it's called natural language, and that is what people speak. Yes, robotics is another branch where machine bots are trained to speak as far as language is concerned, and that will be called robotics and interface of language. No. All languages are not man-made. It's not developed by humans. You understand what we mean by man-made? Man-made means people make them. No, there is no evidence that people have made languages. It's just that we speak. It's innate ability. It's like blood. Humans have not made blood. When we say man-made, we mean manufacturing of it in a laboratory or in a factory. That's not how it is done. So I hope you understand the difference between man-made and natural. Man-made is artificial language, not natural language. The career prospects in the field of linguistics are huge. It makes you, it has, there is, okay, let me approach this question in the following way. There is no domain of human life in which we don't use our insights from language, beginning from how we talk to others, how we teach language, how we deal with machines, how we write, do research, teach, just name anything. Every discipline is connected with language, and therefore, in all fields, we have career that originates from the study of language that is called linguistics. The difference between mixed language and artificial language, and how is it created? Mixed language is when we mix multiple languages in a speaking. That's called mixed language. And again, artificial languages is highly codified for electrical signals like C++ or Java or other things are the names of different artificial languages. Mixed language is what we speak. Esperanto, it's not artificial in the sense that it's not a machine language, but yes, to a great extent, Esperanto is not natural language because it is, basically we can say it's a code. Let me know your other questions. I can answer you. If not, then we will close the session because we have to. Don't mean to continue just like that. It's a session which is being live streamed, so we can't wait. Think about your questions. Let me know so that we can answer your questions. Overview of applied linguistics, that is almost the whole course. Just a moment. So, wait a minute, somebody asked about overview of applied linguistics. Yeah, like I said, you have looked at our video. Can you be a little bit more specific in what you mean by overview? Applied linguistics, in short, anything that is our theoretical understanding of language study when it is applied it is called applied linguistics. So all aspects of application of language study is part of applied linguistics. One very commonly known discipline area is language teaching. Somebody asked the question in the beginning, do we have application of linguistics in language teaching? The way I explained and what I said makes it applied linguistics. And that is what is one example of what is applied linguistics. Esperanto is a codified language. It's not mixed language. I just answered this question, right? So to my understanding, it's a code. It is created by people for communication, but it's a code. No, Meenakshi, linguistics is not different from applied linguistics in a sense that applied linguistics is one of the branches of linguistics, where we understand, in linguistics, we understand things about language in a theoretical concept, a generic description of language. When we applied it for some issues, problems, and understanding real life issues, that is called applied linguistics. So yes, if you want to make a distinction between the two, it is different, but also it is simply a branch of linguistics. Language is not arbitrary in nature, Swati. There is a role of arbitrariness in language. There are certain things that are arbitrary. For example, in a language like Hindi, every noun must have a gender. So, for example, if I say a Hindi word for book, kitab, has feminine gender. Why is this feminine gender associated with the word kitab? That is arbitrary. So there is a role of arbitrariness in language. Language itself is not arbitrary. Language is a highly rule-governed system, and rule-governed system simply means rule-governed system means there are everything that we do in language is performative on the basis of underlying rules of language. Anagha, Niranjan. No other questions, guys? Shubham. Okay, good. All right, guys, if that's all you have, then one more time, thanks for joining the course. I hope to some extent I answered some of your questions. In this session, we are not giving a presentation on the whole course. We are only trying to answer some of your questions, curiosities, confusions. So thanks for joining the course. Thanks for coming to this session. If you have any other questions related to our course, please send us your questions through the course feedback, course forum, and we check these forums time to time, regularly, not just time to time, and we will be happy to answer your questions at that as well. So Ravichandran, can we close it? Thank you so much for coming by. Anybody in the admin? Ravichandran, can we close it?
Thank you, sir.